Hello everyone, I am Scott Lowe. I am joined by Justin Davis. We are checking out the Ouya in its final form. It's shipping to backers this month, and we got a chance to check it out, got some hands-on time, and take a look at the final hardware.
Caressing the hardware right now. No, we've seen prototype Ouyas before, but this is the final sort of production build. You can see that the industrial quality of it is just incredibly high. It's got Ouya etched on the front. These first batches on the back have the $10,000 donation level. Anybody that donated that much to the Kickstarter has their name etched on the back. So you can see Notch. Obviously, you can see Mr. Robert Bowling on here as well. Scott, one thing that I noticed was all these ports on the back here that are all nicely lined up. Why don't you talk about what kind of video or audio out options people have?
Yeah, so I mean, it's just as promised as part of the Kickstarter. You've got Ethernet cable, support. You've got Wi-Fi, Bluetooth built in, but you also have HDMI. Kind of a standard power cable, expandable storage space via either micro USB or full-size USB. This is very much the full realization of the early concept designs we saw on the Kickstarter page. There's been some obviously some design tweaks. The color of it, it's a kind of a darker aluminum, brushed aluminum, but overall the quality of it, I'm actually really, really impressed by. Like for a $99 system, like it feels, very substantial. It feels well constructed, and it doesn't feel very much like a kind of like a plastic toy or anything. What do you think?
I agree. I'm impressed with the build quality as well. We also got to go hands-on with some games, and the games aren't quite as impressive yet. But the nice thing about the Ouya is that it's an open console. So, as these consoles get out in people's hands, and as developers sort of continue refreshing their builds, I do think those games are going to improve. Right now, it's a lot of stuff that we've already seen on the Android market or the iOS App Store. We have Final Fantasy III is obviously one of the bigger, highest profile RPGs to hit the system. Games like Saturday Morning RPG, Cannibal, Gunslugs. Lots of App Store and Android, Google Play Store mainstays. So hopefully we will see some more Ouya exclusives come down the line. Right now, the software still seems a little bit earlier than this hardware does.
Yeah, I mean, and the other thing we got to see is really how the OS works on like a fundamental level. It's very minimalist. It looks, great in my opinion. I think it looks fantastic. But also like the interesting monetization models. Like, one of the biggest things they said in the beginning with the Kickstarter was like, everything is going to have a free option. Like, whether it be a demo or like, whether it be like a free trial period, whatever it is, as well as like additional kind of monetization options like, donations or like downloadable content, that sort of thing, or even subscription-based stuff. And it's kind of interesting how open-ended it is. But then we also saw like other stuff, non-game stuff, like it's kind of an early stage, but like Flixster was available, so like you'll have a streaming movie option if you have a Flixster account, or and they're looking at other companies as things go on.
Yeah, I mean, I do want to reiterate that every single game that we looked at does have a free option, and sometimes that could be something as simple as Final Fantasy III has a demo, and then you need to pay to purchase the game, and that's going to be premium price. They didn't have an exact price on that. Some games are completely free and just donation based. Look, play this game, and if you want to give us $1 or $5, go ahead. And sort of everything in between, sort of microtransactions or episodic or subscription. So I think developers are really going to latch on to if you want to launch sort of a simple multiplayer game and charge people $1 or $2 a month to play, you can do that. You have a lot of flexibility in how you want to sort of monetize your game. Do you want to talk a little bit about the controller and what we saw there?
Yeah. So one of the things that actually changed the most between the Kickstarter kind of pitch and then today was the controller itself. They took a lot of feedback from like early development kit, like developers getting their response, seeing like how things were supposed to change, and it's overall I think it's a pretty fantastic controller. Of all the ones I've used, like it has a solid grip, like it feels comfortable in your hand. The triggers they look bizarre, but they actually feel pretty solid. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm impressed with the controller as well. I thought sort of I don't know the name, the touchpad in the center, is that what it is? I thought that touchpad would feel gimmicky, but it actually feels pretty good. I like sort of the plasticky feel to it, and it felt very responsive. And Julie Herman, the Ouya CEO, was saying that is going to be adjustable, sort of how fast that moves. In some games, you have the ability to, it acts almost like a mouse cursor, and you can do different things in different games. I like that. I like the D-pad. I like the buttons. I actually like everything about this controller.
Yeah, and there's like cool personalization options, like the face plates come off, and you can actually kind of custom painted, or if if somebody made like a custom printed one, you could do that. So it's a very, very, very cool controller. So this is just the beginning for Ouya. This is, when the first units are shipping out to, the initial backers. It'll continue to go to pre-order customers through April, but then the final, kind of big launch day is in June 4th to be exact, which they're announcing today. So, obviously our coverage will continue beyond just, the initial Kickstarter units, but also moving into the final product, where we'll, obviously see more features, more games, and really get a fuller sense of the platform itself. But for more GDC coverage, head over to IGN.com.